complex number and we are looking at a specific aspect of it, division. So we are dividing complex number by complex number. In all the question with complex numbers, in the very beginning, we will be reminded that every time you see I to the power of 2, you change to -1. Generally, rules of dealing with complex number are very similar to algebra, but that is one of the exceptions. Okay, so how do I solve complex number divided by a complex number? We multiply top and the bottom of the fraction by conjugate of the number that is at the bottom of the fraction in the denominator. What does it mean, conjugate? The real value doesn't change, so that is 4. However, our imaginary value changed the sign to the opposite. So in this case will be plus 5i. That's what we are doing. So how do I multiply complex number by a complex number? Well, the same kind of like with algebra, we multiply everything by everything, right? So that's what I'm going to have on top of the fraction. And on the bottom of the fraction, we can actually use a formula that is saying when you have two brackets that are multiplied by each other and they have the same elements exactly with plus and minus in one bracket and minus in one and plus in the other, we can do a shortcut. It will equal to a square root of not square root, it will equal to first number taken to the power of 2 minus the second number taken to the power of 2. Okay, so let's do our numbers therefore. So 2 multiplied by 4, that will be 8. 2 multiplied by 5i, that will be 10i. 3i multiplied by 4, that will be 7i. And 3i multiplied by 5i, so in this case 3 multiplied by 5, that is 15. And I multiplied by I will give me I to the power of 2. And then I remember that when you see I to the power of 2, you have to change it to -1. And then on the bottom of the fraction, my first value in the bracket, which is 4. So 4 to the power of 2, that is 16, minus the second value, 5i to the power of 2. So that will be 25i to the power of 2. And again, I'm saying, well, that I has to be changed to -1. Okay, so then the next line, we have 8. We have 10 and 7 together, we have 17, the same as if we have algebra. And now instead of 15i, I have 15 multiplied by -1. On the bottom of the fraction, I have 16 minus 25, and again, -1 instead of I to the power of 2. So now we put in the calculator 8 plus 15 multiplied by -1. And that will give me together -7. And then I have plus 17. My apologies. I just realized my mistake. That's why I said always use calculator. 3 multiplied by 4. That's not 7. Always in your exam. Always please use calculator. So that is actually 12. So, sorry, my apologies, plus, so this will be 22i plus 22i, and then at the bottom of the fraction, we put all of that in the calculator, and we get is 41. So, I cannot leave my complex number in that form because it always have to be written real value separate to imaginary value. So my fraction is divided -7 over 41 plus 22 over 41i. Yeah, so that we have the real and imaginary value. Again, my apologies. And remember, always use calculator, especially in the exam. It's fine here. I did notice my mistake. But yeah, calculator, does tell us the truth.